Greetings, Hairenik Media. Today we're joined by a special guest, Aspram Krpeyan, an MP from Hayastan Dashing, and an international human rights expert. Thank you, Aspram, for accepting the invitation.
Thanks for having me.
Aspram, we're witnessing an attack on the Armenian church that is unprecedented in the history of independent Armenia. What's your political evaluation of this campaign that includes both legal persecution and also defamation campaigns by the ruling party?
This current occupational government has launched an unprecedented attack against terroristic campaign, terror campaign against my people in my country, against my church in my country. This is not a campaign or, as they want to portray it, legal procedure or proceeding against individuals, but it's a terror campaign against my people, the identity of my people in my country. And the main aim and sole purpose of this terror campaign is to hold on to their power, is to prolong their power in Armenia. Hence, the actions by the Armenian people. The actions should be very precise, very coordinated, very united, and very direct when it comes to protecting our identity and the institutions which have been protecting our identity for centuries, for 1,000 years.
In particular, within the framework of this attack, there were 2 arrests of archbishops that have a lot of moral, a lot of spiritual authority in Armenia, Archbishop Mikhail Ashapahyan and Archbishop Bagrat Galastanian. What is your assessment of these cases and these accusations of planning terrorism, of planning a coup, of being foreign agents? Like, why do you think that this is the ruling party's strategy?
As I said, the occupational government is the only and main source of terror in this country. The illegal procedures and proceedings that have been launched against the very respectful clergymen comes to yet again prove the statement that they just want to silence any opposition voice, any clear resistance that there can be amongst the Armenian people, and to by terrorizing and by spreading false fake news and fake information, by terrorizing the Armenian people and preventing them from fighting for their own rights, be that social and political rights or cultural rights or any other fundamental right that there can be. So when viewing this situation from afar, especially in diaspora, we receive concerns about the possible illegal activities that could have been or might have been planned or organized. I'd advise my compatriots in diaspora to be very cautious in consuming such fake news and very deliberate in assessments that they make, because as we all have seen during this past weeks, the presumption of innocence, the most fundamental legal principle, has been violated by these occupational governments. and the representatives of this occupational government without any ruling by a court. These respective individuals have been arrested, illegally arrested, and portrayed as terrorists, which once again has zero ground, legal ground, and I'm sure that we're going to see justice. I don't know when, but for sure we'll see the justice, and we'll witness the just clarification of this entire terror campaign that's been going on these days in Armenia.
Speaking of justice, we know that separation of powers is a very important core principle in statehood. To what extent would you say that the judiciary branch is independent from the executive branch now in Armenia?
It's not. The judiciary is increasingly under the influence of the government, the executive government. Every decision is being dictated by the occupational government, by the head of the occupational government via social media to the representatives of the judiciary. And they're just delivering. They're receiving orders directly from the head of the occupational government and delivering. And we're witnessing this unprecedented, ridiculous, and very disgraceful reality that we unfortunately live in.
Yet another high-profile case was that of businessman and benefactor Samvel Krpeyan. And Pashinyan threatened to seize his electric networks, and now it seems like he has proceeded in this direction. This raises some concerns about the general investment climate of Armenia. Would you say this is an example of state racketeering?
Of course it is, but I want us to look at the bigger picture. As I said, the aim of this government, occupational government, is to silence every voice that brings attention or dares to bring attention to the ongoing unlawful, illegal atmosphere in this country, or dares to protect the fundamental national institutions in this country. Hence, every action by this government has, as I said, has one purpose only, to silence any resistance that there can be and to silence any voice of awakening that there can be. So I'm sure Mr. Krpeyan won't be the first and the last businessman that they go after. Every Armenian should know, be that in Armenia or in diaspora, that this government, this occupational government, hasn't protected or is not going to protect the rights, be that individual or collective rights of the Armenian people, be that in Armenia, as I said, or in diaspora. It's not on their political agenda to represent the rights and freedoms and collective ambitions of this nation. Just very clear, and we've been witnessing, it's on the contrary. The situation is developing drastically in a very unpleasant direction for my nation these days, taking into consideration the regional developments, the geopolitical developments in our region. And unfortunately, we do not have a government which not only understands the importance of strategic importance of and the strategic role of this country in the region, but also is not willing and not going to deliver the best interests or to protect and deliver for the best interests of my nation.
A few days ago, Pashinyan directly threatened any employees of Electric Networks and Dashir Group, saying that they should not protest or they will lose their jobs. And also, we hear many voices that are wondering why aren't more Armenians rising in defense of the rights of their own rights and in defense of our clergymen, in defense of our national core institutions. Would you say that the right to dissent is protected in Armenia today? What is the price of dissent?
Political persecution, that's the price. Violation of your individual human rights, the entire spectrum of those rights, and also collective rights as well. And again, and I've been constantly repeating this statement for years, that this occupational government has an agenda to terrorize the Armenian people, has an agenda and to by using social media platforms, by using media, to spread false, fake information, to divide the nation from within, and to build this very unhealthy atmosphere in the country where no one trusts anyone, when people not only don't they not only have worries about their own individual safeties, but also the entire nation is very divided. That's the situation.
Many have compared Pashinyan's regime methods to those of Baku and Ankara. Would you say that they deploy the same tactics against their people?
They deploy the same tactics as any occupational government deploys against the people or the country that they occupy. That's it.
To what extent has Armenia lost its sovereignty? Is the whole system overtaken, or do we have still some parts that we can call our own, that are in defense of our national interests? And if it's overtaken by foreign actors and foreign agendas, which ones are these?
Look, the entire government, as I said, is an occupational government. But of course, we do have compatriots who still work in those institutions. And I really want to be clear here that when we refer to this government as an occupational government, we are referring to those who are making the decisions, who are the representatives of this occupational government. And of course, we also witness resistance from within the institutions because it's very clear that the majority of the Armenian people is in disagreement, to say the least, with the not only national but foreign policies of this current occupational government. Hence, the government is occupational, but the people of Armenia is trying its best to form this resistance front. And in this scenario, the major responsibility hold the opposition actors who, be that in the parliament or outside the parliament, are working towards uniting the national front. So our actions, our resources should be directed towards this very noble campaign, which will bring the Armenian people together, which will finally provide a vision for the future, for the Armenian people and for the Armenian statehood. And I'm, as an individual, as a representative of the parliamentary fraction, opposition fraction, I feel this very important, the weight of this very important responsibility, and I'll do my best to add even if it's just a tiny bit of influence or help or involvement in this entire resistance campaign.
That's very inspiring. Recently, another MP from Hayastan Dashing, Lilith Galstyan, suggested at the OSCE Parliamentary Assembly to make amendments that would, number one, safeguard the cultural and religious heritage of Artsakh, and number two, that would send a monitoring group, an international monitoring group, to the sham processes, the court proceedings in Baku, and to observe the conditions also in which our hostages are kept. And both were rejected. This was rejected by the delegation from the ruling party, who, according to Galstyan, went as far as to make agreements with the Azerbaijani delegation. How much resistance is the opposition dealing with? What can the opposition do in these conditions?
Organize the people, to bring everyone together, be that the political circles or ordinary people, come up with united agenda, with united political agenda, and organize the actual resistance in the streets, in the parliament, because without unity, without the support and the participation of the Armenian people, no one, not any individual or any political party can bring change. And hence, as I said, the role of the opposition is to come together, to, first of all, come up with the united political agenda and to bring the Armenian people into the process, and with the support and the participation of the Armenian people to bring change.
And one final question. What would your message be to our compatriots in the diaspora about the state of rule of law in Armenia and about what we can do in the diaspora to reclaim our country, reclaim our future in our homeland?
I'd say do not believe everything that's coming from the state media in Armenia. Be very vigilant, and never compromise on what's Armenian, be that an institution or an idea. Every attack on anything Armenian is an attack on the Armenian people and Armenian statehood. Hence, stay united. Find ways to solve your disagreements without any unrepairable division, and hold on to the hope that we're gonna witness national victories in the future, be that in Armenia or in diaspora collectively.
Thank you, Aspram, for such an insightful discussion.
Thank you for having me.
We were joined today by a very special guest, Aspram Krpeyan, an MP from Hayastan Dashing. See you next time.